All right. Then again. All right. So next one. Let's see. During a seminar. So during a seminar we were doing on stratified physiology, one of the people in the seminar asked, "How does the model of stratified physiology apply to chronic pain?" Well, I mean, it's actually designed for chronic pain. It's designed around chronic pain. Now, remember that chronic pain is really just a reflection of whether our body is in mechanical balance. So, what we need to do is we need to use the stratified physiology model to take the right steps to rebalance the body in order to alleviate the chronic pain by applying and strengthening dysfunctional motor development patterns at each and every stage of development. So, what does that mean? Well, when you're a little baby, you start, doing these certain sorts of motor patterns, and that motor pattern, it might be shaking your arms on your back and then rolling over and then crawling and then walking, then running and all this sort of stuff. And so let's take an example of that. Then you go into being an adult and you sit in a chair, you lose all the function that you gained from a baby on through grade school and high school. So, when you're playing sports and you have this high function, but you've gained all that function and you forget that you're supposed to know how to crawl, you're supposed to know how to walk. Yeah, well, you know how to walk properly, though. You're supposed to know how to sprint. You're supposed to know how to change direction. You're supposed to know how to do a somersault. These are all, basic motor patterns. And instead, what we do is we go into a gym. I was just in a gym yesterday. I was using a sauna, and I see all these people sitting there each one is on their phone, sitting on a machine, and I'm like, none of this is doing what actually needs to be done for the body, which the body needs motor development primary before anything else. Like we say strength, we need, we say strength and we need cardio and all this stuff. Motor development is job one. And so that's where the stratified physiology model, that's what it uses. And that's why we get pain, is because we're not using that in our approach with respect to, commercial fitness and studios and whatnot. And so what happens with the stratified physiology model is each stage takes you further from your original pain state and what it would take in the form of mechanical stress to create it. So what we do is we take you from that imbalance that you're feeling at the pain state. We figure that out. Then we alleviate the imbalances. We create imbalance. Then in the next level, which we call injury resilience state, we strengthen the imbalance. So injury resilience, you kind of can think of as like, oh, I don't feel pain every day anymore, but if I go lift this box in the garage, I could trigger something, that sort of thing. You're not confident yet, and so what we do there is we strengthen the balance, so that you're further and further away from that original pain state. Then in the next zone, we call it the functional zone, and so in this, we want to strengthen your body's ability to do the maximal effects, activities of daily living. Whereas in the injury resilience stage, we're kind of trying to make sure that you can do the minimal activities of daily living. For instance, one time I didn't feel pain. I had recurring back pain for years, and there was this one weekend when I hadn't addressed my mobility in all those areas, and I knew I had some issues, but I didn't feel pain at the time. And I turned around, I put a dish in the dishwasher, and I threw my back out. And I had a spasm putting a dish in the dishwasher. That's what we call the minimal activity of daily living causes spasm. And so I would have been in that injury resilient state, and I should have addressed the body as such. It was my fault for not addressing the body as such at that time. On top of that, after I got away from that state, then I should start training in the functional zone, the ability to do the maximal expected activities of daily living. And then we move on to the next row or next level in that, which is what we call non-athlete strengthening and conditioning, which is at that point, we're looking to expand activities of daily living beyond our maximum that we would be normally doing. Like, so we're going beyond gardening and cleaning the house into recreation and sports and stuff like that, you know? And then, so how do we do all that? Well, we use we have to utilize the aforementioned motor development, from birth to sport. So, again, contact me for that one. We have a course on it. We can get you into that, and we can teach you how to do it on your own. It helps to have a trainer or something like that, but we can absolutely give you the course and teach you how to do it on your own without having to have all that rigmarole, or at least get you to the point where you can do that, as is our goal for everyone. All right. Hey, and if you found that information valuable, go ahead and click on up above and check out our chronic pain masterclass. Thanks a lot.